If you have watched my other videos, you will know that I created a ship comparison between the MISC Freelancer Base and the Drake Cutlass Black. But for the sake of keeping the video as short as possible, I did not go into detail of either ship. So today, I'll be explaining to the best of my ability as to what the MISC Freelancer is and what jobs it excels at most. My name is Puffin King, and let's get right into the video. The definition of the word freelance is to not necessarily work for a single company. You take whatever work is available in a given profession without being employed by the same business each time. You are pretty much free to do whatever you want, and that is exactly what this ship can be used for. It is a versatile machine that is capable of handling virtually any task you can throw at it, whether that be a gunship or a freight hauler. Many people argue that the Freelancer is a dedicated freighter, but I can argue against that. What makes the Freelancer Base stand out to me more than the other variants is its lack of dedication to a single profession. The other versions of the Freelancer are designed to excel in the career that they were designed for, but when put to task at something else, they struggle. Take the Freelancer Max for example, which is the cargo variant of the Freelancer. It has nearly double the cargo capacity of the base, but when you try to repurpose it as a warship, its more sluggish maneuverability gets in the way. Or take the opposite scenario with the Freelancer MISC, which is the gunboat variant. Yes, its Gatling guns are more ideal for spraying at and riddling your enemy's hull with bullet holes, but when you try to repurpose it as a freighter, its less than half cargo capacity of the base won't exactly allow you to make money very quickly. The beauty of the Freelancer is the same appeal that the Cutlass Black has. It doesn't do great at any one single job, rather be average at almost everything. In this video, I will show you just how amazing this ship really is, and we'll review it separately in the eyes of each type of profession. But first, let's start with a tour of the ship. Before we head into the interior of the vessel, I'd like to point out some of the exterior features. In the very front, two pairs of GATS ballistic cannons lie menacingly on the side of the vessel. These weapons are gimbaled, which gives you a great advantage in battle as it allows you to target your enemy and let the computer do the aiming for you. These cannons are like a sniper rifle. They have more range than the weapons you would find on a common dogfighter such as an Avenger Titan, but they are slower shooting and therefore easier to evade if you are facing a more skilled pilot versus a guy who thinks his Aurora MR is some sort of bulletproof battleship. I personally love these types of weapons, as the AI that I face are usually very bad pilots and they are destroyed before they know what even hit them. As you come around to the port side, you will notice a door. This is the secondary access point, the primary being the cargo ramp in the back. This is a critical addition to the ship that benefits a lot of professions, which I will explain later. Coming along to the wing, you see that we have 4 missiles on each side. There are 2 size 2 Ignite 2 missiles and 2 size 3 Arresta 3 missiles on each side, totaling up to a whopping 8 missiles. This allows for multiple enemy encounters without the need to return to a spaceport or space station to rearm. At the very back on the top you see a single-man turret, which is outfitted with 2 Bearing M4A laser cannons. One disadvantage to this placement is that the turret has a harder time firing at targets that are directly in front of the ship, but this is countered by the fact that it has a nice wide open field of view on the back of the ship, which might be more useful. In the very back is the cargo ramp, and so this is the perfect chance to take a look inside. Immediately after entering the ship, we are greeted with the main cargo hold. If you notice these markings on the floor, commodities that are purchased will not fill the entire hold, but leave space on the sides to walk by. Now I have tested it, and it may only be with the type of material that I purchased, but when the hold is full you cannot walk on the left side due to some sort of component sticking out, which is a serious design flaw. Also in the cargo hold is turret access, which is accessed by an elevator that comes down with the seat and lifts you into position. This is a better design than, say, the turret on the Cutlass Black, which has an entire elevator that is down while not in use and requires a separate room, shall I say, severely wasting the space. The Freelancer turret is up when in use and also when not in use, and the only time it is in the way is when someone is entering or exiting the turret, allowing for more room to move around inside the ship. There are a few flaws to this design though. While turret access is not blocked while loading the ship with purchased commodities, loading vehicles into the hull may block off turret access if placed carelessly. Another flaw to this design is that the Cutlass does not have is the fact that it is accessible only from the cargo hold, which may not be pressurized at all times. This requires the gunner to be wearing an EVA suit at all times, as he might exit the turret while the door is open and he will suffocate to death. The other crew members do not have to worry about this, as the quarters and the bridge are separated by 2 bulkheads. As we move to the midsection of the ship, we we are faced with another smaller cargo hold. Perhaps you have some livestock that you might want to transport, but it's a huge hassle to have to pressurize the entire cargo hold. So this would be one of the advantages of having a second cargo hold. This can also serve as an airlock from the crew quarters to the cargo hold. If you look up at the ceiling, you also notice a hatch, further emphasizing the airlock use of this cargo hold. The hatch is rather useless, however, as coming in from it from space will cause injury. Moving on past the smaller cargo hold, we arrive at the crew quarters. To the left of us we have a small food storage/kitchen area. While this is purely for decoration at the moment, the developers may add the need to eat and drink, so this feature will be critical for longer missions, and allows you to operate longer without the need to stop off at a spaceport. Directly across from the kitchen we have a bathroom, which surprisingly is lacking a clear way to access the toilet, which is an extreme downside, even though as many of these things, the bathroom is just decoration at the moment. But as developers will add the need to fulfill hygiene, this will be a very important addition to the spacecraft. As we move farther up, we have an engineering station that is currently non-functional, unlike engineering stations aboard other ships. Directly across from this is an airlock, which is the door I pointed out earlier when I did the outside walk around. Moving forward are 4 bunk beds, which allow crew members to log out inside the ship and then also respawn back inside the ship. These specific beds also double as escape pods. While this allows easy escape for crew members in the bridge, the gunner has to run all the way to the front of the ship if he doesn't want to be floating in space by himself, and these precious moments can be the difference between life or death. Moving up past the beds is the last stop on our tour, the bridge. The bridge is very well designed and has a capacity of up to 4 people. One of the things I love about the Freelancer so much is the fact that you can use it effectively by yourself, but you can also have a large crew run it. Immediately past the bulkhead, you see an engineering station on each side. Directly in front of them, there are the pilot and co-pilot seats. Although it may seem hard to split the ship's systems between 4 people, a well-organized captain should be able to divide up the tasks evenly to run at maximum efficiency. Another neat feature worth pointing out is how the pilot and co-pilot seats are raised higher than the engineering seats, producing a sense of authority over the engineers. First off, we're going to look at this ship through the eyes of a mercenary or military specialist, someone who'd use this ship for combat. The GATS cannons in the front are not ideal for dogfights, but this ship would work excellently as a support ship to a fleet. The shield generators are impressive compared to the napkin of a shield on the Cutlass Black, allowing for it to be able to sustain considerable amounts of fire. The 8 missiles provide lots of extra firepower, and as mentioned before, allows many uses before the need to rearm. The turret placement has its downsides, but unlike the Cutlass Black, it is able to defend the stern of the ship more effectively. The maneuverability is decent, but it isn't as responsive as, say, an Aegis Gladius, so you have to be careful of overcorrections. Upgrading from an S size to an M size quantum drive will also ensure that you're able to get to the scene of the battle quickly. As for ground combat, there are many things to discuss. The cargo hold is not as wide as the Max, so you're not able to fit a Cyclone or an Ursa in the hold, although you can fit Grey Cats and Dragonflies with ease. The option of a secondary entrance allows you to fully load your hold with military supplies and vehicles, and still be able to get into your ship. This also provides a method of ambush, as your enemies might expect you to come out of the main hold, but in reality, you come out of the airlock. Or if they are expecting this requires them to spread out their forces, allowing you to push a single section easier. It may not be as ideal as the Cutlass for a military ship, but with the right crew you can still get the job done with plenty of comfort room. Now to look through the eyes of a space trucker, who would be using this ship to haul cargo across the vast universe. With 66 SCU of cargo, it is nearly half the capacity of the Freelancer Max, and I would more than suggest going with that if you're only going to be hauling freight. But as always, the Freelancer isn't supposed to be great at doing everything, just average. The separate cargo hold will allow you to section off more important materials or livestock. The 4 beds allow you and your crew to go on longer shipping routes, as it discards the need to do everything in one session. The bathroom and the kitchen will also allow you to go longer without stopping at a spaceport, once things like hunger and hygiene are an aspect of the game. The second access point on the port side of the ship also allows easier access to the bridge while our cargo hold is full. Although please remember that you are still able to walk around the right side with ease. The weapons that are available will be more than enough for fending off pirates, or, if you are on the other side of the law enforcement and bounty hunters. Once again, the M-size quantum drive will let you get from point A to point B more quickly. There isn't much to be said about this being used as an exploration vessel. It has average sized fuel tanks for a vessel its size. The rear cargo hold allows for transportation of a few gray cats or dragonflies, which could be used to, say, explore caves or something. This also allows you to bring many supplies with you. As mentioned many times, the bathroom and kitchen will allow you to fulfill hunger and hygiene once implemented into the game, allowing for longer exploration sessions without the need to resupply. As you can see, this ship is capable of doing many of the popular jobs that are in Star Citizen. Yes, it has its flaws, but remember, it can't be good at everything. If it were the best fighter, no one would buy anything else. If it were the best freighter, no one would buy anything else. So balancing out its capabilities is very important to maintain a more realistic environment within the game. My closing thoughts on this ship is that it is an excellent ship that I definitely would buy, but I'm a broke teenager, so that's not happening anytime soon. I hope you enjoyed this style of video. I put many hours of work into it, and if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up to help support my channel. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them, and I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Well, it looks like our journey is at an end, my friends, so I'm going to end this like every stereotypical Star Citizen YouTuber. I'll see you next time, in the verse.